the first book of the Christianity and also of Islam, and how it's a mixture of different types of writing, some stories, some poetry, some fact, some fiction, and it was an oral tradition that was taken many years to write down. And obviously, you need to have a story where you have men and women being created, and the survival of the tribe was very important, and that's still the case in Africa. Your pension, your livelihood, your survival depends on having children. If you have no children, there's nobody to look after you in old age. So children are vital to keep going. So anything that stops children being born is a real problem within the Old Testament. The Bible is written predominantly by men and particularly interpreted by men, and so for example there's nothing to stop women and women having sex. There's nothing in the Bible to say women shouldn't have sex together. It's only men having sex with men. It's assuming that the man is naturally straight and he's having sex with men that is condemned. It's not assuming that the man is gay and having sex with men. It's lying with a man as with a woman. And the only time that men go with men is things like prison and rape and other sorts of violent sexual acts. A straight man never goes with a gay man for sex out of love. I mean, there's clearly stories of like David and Jonathan who had a relationship where their love was stronger than their love with their wives, and you have Jesus healing somebody who is obviously gay. So there are stories within the Old and New Testament where homosexuality is accepted.
Okay. Well, after my first meeting with the Reverendo Stephen, I don't know, I cannot express myself with words. I feel so relieved, because I always thought that it's impossible being homosexual and religious, like Christian or Catholic. I felt like I'm making a sin just because love what I love. Meet another people like me. It was amazing. Amazing. It made me think a lot about how the society, the family, friends, or the people around can conditionate us living a life we don't want to live because it's not correct. Who says it's correct or no? Who says that? I would like my father to understand. I would like him met to the Reverend Stephen and have a long conversation, because I don't think he's going to accept me, but it's his problem. I cannot change myself. I don't know, I feel happiness, but in the same time sad, because I've been holding this stone so many years. I can't move this stone, so heavy, and be happy.
And I say there are many groups now within each denomination who will give that support. I say Quest, particularly within the Catholic Church, is good at helping people, and lesbian, gay, Christian movement, etc. Right through my late 30s into my 40s, at university I went out with women. I told them I was gay, but I still went out with women because I thought that's what the church taught. And then I didn't go out with anybody, and it took me right through to my late 30s before I could accept that a gay relationship was what God would want. And one of the issues, of course, is that so many Catholic priests are gay because they have to be celibate. a very high proportion of priests are gay, but I have been a member of different denominations, including Anglican Church of England, and now I'm a minister within the Metropolitan Community Church. We have quite a few straight people coming to Journey. It's not a gay church, but it's a church that's accepting of anybody's position. You know, everybody's equal. We're all children of God.
Okay, today I'm going to St. Paul's Church. It's a different church because it's liberal and openly to people with different sexual orientation. So let's go.
We come to celebrate our God, who loved and loves us so much. Amen.
Amazing Grace, number 6, Rise of the Ship.
Bad people are speechless, stopped in their tracks. If you are really wise, you'll think this over. It's time you appreciated God's deep love.
The church has done a lot of things to cause suffering, and particularly this church, but generally the church is campaigning on climate change and trying to preserve our environment. But we also have a lot of anger, a lot of fighting with God, God being with us in our lives, being with us in our suffering. So very much not a God sitting up there, sitting down with punishment, but actually being with us in the depths, being alongside us in the times when we are struggling.
I'm an alcoholic. I smoke, it's not having had cancer, so I smoke cigarettes. I bought it myself. But I don't think it's a self-destructive behaviour, it's habituation, habit and addiction. But I suppose some people aren't, actually, don't tell anybody, and you abuse it.
Yeah, sometimes the church has been guilty of, or Christians are guilty of talking as if we're sort of separate or something, we've got, a place to take a lead. But, the history shows that Christians have caused as much suffering as anyone else. So we've got to just pull together with everybody.
And close our eyes. Make ourselves feel comfortable. Visualize a place of darkness. What comes up for you? What is the image of darkness? And if that's too severe, pick one that's less disturbing. Imagine you're there in the place of darkness. Imagine your presence there. And now imagine that in the presence Jesus is with you as a glimmer of light. How is that light? Stay there in the moment with the light. For God so loved the world that he gave. For God so loved. So loved the world, God.
Maybe it was all too much for a man to take. Everything is bound to break. Sooner or later, you're all that I can trust. Facing the darkest days, everyone ran away, but we're gonna stay here. We're gonna stay here.
a bar when the lights go out, when there's no one else around. We'll be two souls in a ghost town when the world gets cold. I'll be your cover, let's just hold on to each other when it all falls down. We'll be two souls in a ghost town.
Jesus took bread, an ordinary symbol, and gave thanks and said, "Eat this in remembrance of me." In the same way, after supper, he took the cup and said, "This is a symbol that I will love you forever. Do this in remembrance of me."
How long have you been in the Metropolitan journey?
I've been coming to Metropolitan Community Church for about 11 years now, but all through that time it's kept its core values that it shares with the Metropolitan Community Church in general, which is one of acceptance, inclusivity to people who are lesbian, gay, bisexual or transgender, and anybody who just likes to meet, talk, discuss, think about life without having to follow religious rules, believe in religious dogma, where a lot of churches talk about morality and sexuality and who you go to bed with, what is right and what's wrong. What you don't hear churches talk a lot about is justice, social issues, the environment, all those really important human issues. Not just Journey, many other denominations are having the same kind of evolution, really, to talk about things that really matter, and what really doesn't matter to many people is who do you go to bed with. Things have changed. People don't see the church as anything special. In fact, a lot of people think the church is part of the problem. The church is part of the problem.
What do you think?
It's probably true in some large way. Religion often is a way to control people's minds and people's actions, which is a shame, because for me, religion in the proper use of the word is something to do with, passion, spirit. Religion isn't something about following the rules. It's about love. It's art. Religion for me is art, it's music, it's discussion, it's everything combined. That's why I like it. It fuses together so many things that I find really interesting, from politics, art, literature, and the most important thing, and I think the most important thing for a lot of people who come to Journey, is the community. A place that people just find safety.
It's true, because I felt like this, a community with people I can be myself.
Yeah.
Have you had a bad experience with church?
In a church that I used to be part of, who didn't think it was okay to be gay. They was okay with me being gay, but when they found out I was gay and very happy about it, thank you, I would like a boyfriend, I don't agree with the church on sexuality issues, then people try to have words with me. They wasn't comfortable with that. Get another thing, they say, I love the sinner, but not the sin.
Mm.
And for gay people, that's incredibly patronising.
Wow.
You know, it's very like, you're labelling me not just as gay, but a sinner, you know. And then they say, but it's not just being gay that's a sin, you know. All things, there's other sins, there's greed and there's adultery or there's lying, but the church doesn't, these churches don't usually go on a big hate campaign against adulterers or liars.
It's true.
You know.
Well, after all the things I'm learning now, currently about this subject, but maybe it's not about religion, it's about homophobia. I think they dress up the homophobia as no, it's because of the religion.
Yeah.
I'm not homophobic, it's because the religion
yeah.
said that.
Yeah.
I don't know, sometimes it's not, it's homophobia, it's hate.
Yeah.
It's hate to others.
I do agree with that. I think some people hide their fear of something different, something they're not used to, behind religion.
I mean, it's still a big issue. The Church of England has finally accepted women bishops just now, but the gay issue will still cause a lot of division within the Church of England, and it's a problem now that gay marriage is accepted within the state, but the state church won't marry people, so that's a real dichotomy, a real problem within English law. But then, I've lived in Africa. The African church is nowhere near ready to even discuss homosexuality, so there's a long way to go yet. The Pope is preparing a discussion that will be at least one generation away. He's just preparing the idea that we might discuss it next generation. The British society generally is quite supportive now. I don't think anybody, or very few people under 25 would even question whether it's right or wrong to be gay. They would just think it's normal. And even in most churches, certainly the Anglican Church, and there are groups like Quest within the Catholic Church that are accepting. So at the grassroots level, people are quite open now, but it's often at the hierarchical level that there's still this blockage.
Hey, well, I just want to say thank you to everybody who made me company in this personal journey, and well, especially to my family as well. I love you and miss you a lot. Thank you so much.